Welcome to the Tech Mobility Podcast, brought to you by Playbook Investors Network, your strategic partner for unstoppable growth. Visit pincommunity.org to get started.
I'm Ken Chester. On the docket, my impressions and review of the 2026 Toyota GR Supra Coupe, a new air-powered battery, and taxing data centers. To add your voice to the conversation, be it to ask a question, share an opinion, or even suggest a topic for future discussion, call or text the Tech Mobility Hotline. That number, 872-222-9793. Or you can email the show directly, talk@techmobility.show. And for those of you that want to learn more about Tech Mobility Productions, where to find us in the town near you, or if you're traveling somewhere around the country, check out techmobility.show. That is the website. Find all sorts of cool stuff about me and the show, what we're doing, where we're doing it, and how you can get involved. So that's techmobility.show. From the Tech Mobility News Desk. We haven't talked about autonomous cars in a while. We've talked about autonomous trucks, and we do that kind of regular. But do you realize that Robotaxis, what they're called, are still a thing and are growing? This piece is about the industry leader, Waymo. And it talks about, in this article, way more cars, way more problems. There is a reason why the industry has not perfected a personally owned autonomous vehicle, fully level 5 autonomous. So many factors, so many what they call edge events. And in case you don't know what an edge event is relative to an autonomous vehicle, it's an event that happens to the vehicle that it was not trained to handle. Waymo is now in 15 cities across the United States. They have increased the number of vehicles, if you can believe this, on the road, autonomous vehicles on the road right now, from 700 last year to 4,000 now. This is just Waymo. There are other companies doing this. Tesla's involved. There's some other companies, and I'm not talking even about the trucking companies. I'm talking about Robotaxis, because right now that is the way, and that really hasn't changed in 10 years, how they wanted to get autonomous vehicles in front of the public to get the public to interact with them while they try to work this stuff out. They're still working this stuff out, unfortunately. Now, to be fair, Waymo's safety record shows 94% fewer serious injury crashes than human drivers. They still be having problems. Let me give you 2 examples. An autonomous vehicle drives over a firework that's about to explode, or drives into a lane of highway that's closed for construction. These are what the autonomous car industry calls edge cases, situations that cars have not been trained to handle. And you would think, construction, hello, construction? That's an edge case? The fireworks, okay, I'll give you that. That's a little peculiar because in the case, and it was in San Francisco, I think during the 4th of July, some guy runs in the middle of the road, sets off a firework, and it just so happens Waymo rolls over it about the time it blows up. Now, the people inside weren't hurt, but they were definitely freaked out. And we won't even talk about in situations where Waymo vehicles are getting in the way of police and fire equipment, or get in the middle of an intersection and just dying or getting confused. And then if you remember, we did talk about this probably about a year and a half ago, where some folks were defeating the Waymo by taking one of those construction cones and just putting it on the hood. And it didn't know what to do. It just stopped. It freaked out. It had no idea what that was. Amid all the growth, 15 metro areas, and for the record, they've gone fully driverless in Denver, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Tampa in the past month. That's in addition to being autonomous in Phoenix and San Francisco. Completely autonomous. And the way they go into a new market is usually they'll do it with remote human drivers. In other words, there's some human oversight, at least initially. But no, these cities, there's totally autonomous. Give you an idea of the spectrum. And bear in mind, this is Waymo. This is not the whole industry. This is just Waymo. Each week, passengers pay for about 500,000 trips a week. 500,000 Waymo trips each and every week. Right now, just Waymo. In the middle of all that growth, however, Waymo's issued 3 federal recalls for software problems, including one where the cars drove into flooded roadways, compared with 3 in the last 22 months. Some edge cases have drawn headlines, including a December power outage in San Francisco that left nearly 1,600 Waymos frozen for at least 2 minutes. And can you imagine a Waymo getting in the middle of an intersection, a busy intersection, and coming to a full, complete stop smack in the middle of it because of a power failure or a glitch? But edge cases, though. Edge cases. Regulators are paying attention. Mayor Daniel Lurie of San Francisco has asked California's transportation secretary to set operational standards for driverless cars during major events and emergencies. Yeah, Waymos don't do well in major events where, like a major football event or sports event or a major music event where there's a ton of people. Yeah, it does not do that well. Yeah. Give you another example. July 4th. More than 100,000 people packed San Francisco's waterfront for a foggy fireworks show over the Golden Gate Bridge. When they tried to go home, Waymo got in the way. With crowds milling around, Waymo's driverless cars blocked intersections and choked traffic. Some drivers were stuck behind the electric Robotaxis for more than 3 hours. And as you can imagine, several Waymos had to be towed after their batteries died in the gridlock. And at least two drove over exploding fireworks with one catching fire. This is why we do not have personal autonomous vehicles. It is hard. Every city, every situation, there's over 330 million people in the United States of America. How are you going to allow for every single positively event that could possibly happen? How can you? Heck, if you're as a driver, even an experienced driver, there's some stuff you're going to run across that you don't know how to deal with. Yet, these things are expanding to different cities, increasing in the fleet number. I mean, still small compared to motor vehicles on the road. I mean, there are 250 million privately owned vehicles in the United States. So 4,000 by itself ain't a lot, but it is as far as its growth because it's not just Waymo. Start multiplying that by Zoox and some others that are also trying to do the same thing. And bear in mind, Waymo is considered the gold standard in the autonomous industry. They've been at it since 2009, longer than anybody else. And they're considered the gold standard. More cars in more cities mean more chances to meet something the technology's never seen. Here's the problem. That's hard to fix because cars don't know they're in trouble because you don't know what you don't know. So how can you ask for help if you don't know you're in trouble? But yet you're in a new city, though. And yeah, some of that's transferable, but not everywhere. Detroit ain't San Francisco. San Francisco ain't New York. Boston ain't Miami. They all got different issues, some worse than others. We ain't even begun to talk about weather yet. As you go into different cities, you got different kinds of weather. Ice, snow, wind, dirt storms. Yeah, that is why they're still trying to figure it out. And again, I keep mentioning Waymo is the gold standard. It's all not bad, but they got a ways to go. Riddle me this. When is a Toyota not actually a Toyota? The answer is next. You are listening to the Tech Mobility Show. Got a business idea stuck in your head? I'm Ken Chester, and my new book, 2-Hour Entrepreneur, isn't just a book. It's a complete system, a proven step-by-step method to build a real business in only 2 focused hours a week. No hustle, no burnout, just steady progress. Find it in ebook and paperback at kennethjchester.com, Amazon, and most online stores.
In business, opportunity doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Playbook Investors Network, we connect visionary entrepreneurs with the strategies, resources, and capital they need to win. Whether you're launching, scaling, or reimagining your business, our network turns ambition into measurable success. Your vision deserves more than a plan. It deserves a playbook that works. Playbook Investors Network, where bold ideas meet bold results. Visit pincommunity.org today.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than AONmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. AONmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
We all have that someday idea. I'm Ken Chester, and I wrote 2-Hour Entrepreneur to finally help you start yours. This isn't just a book. It's a complete system that turns 2 focused hours a week into a real working business. Practical steps, not empty motivation. Find it in ebook and paperback at kennethjchester.com, Amazon, and most online bookstores.
This is a line. To some, it is seen as a barrier. To others, it's a point where traditions of the past are abandoned in favor of visions of the future. Introducing the revolutionary new Toyota Supra. It's taken everything sports cars were before and crossed the line.
Yeah, Toyota Supra, that commercial was from 1993, so roughly 33 years ago. It was making an impression then. It was originally developed as a competitor to what was going on in the market. And I'm going to explain a little bit about that in a little bit. But yeah, Supra has been around a while, and no surprise as a performance car. But I get ahead of myself, so let me back up a little bit and set this up for you. Let me start with a question. When is a Toyota not actually a Toyota? Better yet, what does a Toyota GR Supra and a BMW Z4 have in common? Here's the answer. While mechanical siblings, neither car was manufactured by Toyota or BMW. I'm getting ahead of myself here, so let's start, as always, with a bit of context. The Supra that I just mentioned was developed originally and manufactured and launched as a Grand Tourer by Toyota back in 1978. The name is derived from Latin meaning above, to surpass, or to go beyond. The original car was created at the request of its North American dealerships for a competitor to the very popular at the time Datsun 280Z. Produced in 4 generations and in 2 different Toyota manufacturing plants, the 4th generation Supra was no longer offered for sale in the United States by 1998, although production for other markets worldwide would continue until 2002. The iconic nameplate would languish unused until its reintroduction in 2019. Development of the GR Supra actually began some 9 years before that in 2010. The first concept vehicle, the FT1, was unveiled in 2014. In March of 2018, the Japanese automaker introduced the Toyota GR Supra racing concept at the 2018 Geneva Motor Show. There, the public got its first look at both the racing version and the road-going production version of the 5th generation Supra. But it was at the 2019 North American International Auto Show in Detroit that the actual production Supra was introduced some 17 years after the end of the 4th generation. The newest generation of the Supra is the GR Supra, part of Toyota's Gazoo-raising family of performance cars. In a nod to the realization that it's more of a halo car than a volume model, Toyota teamed up with BMW, sharing the platform in many parts from the G29 BMW Z4. This also included BMW-derived 4- and 6-cylinder turbocharged engines and maintaining rear-wheel drive propulsion from the previous Supra. Given the low production numbers projected for both cars, the automakers contracted manufacturing to longtime contract assembler Magnus Steyr of Graz, Austria, where they're both made. By the 2026 model year, the only engine available for the Supra is the 3-liter inline gasoline 6-cylinder turbocharged gas engine that makes 382 horsepower and 368 foot-pounds of torque. Energy is communicated to the rear wheels via a 6-speed manual gearbox or an 8-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters. Here's a fun fact. 0 to 60 for the GR Supra in manual mode with a 6-speed manual transmission. 4.2 seconds, which ain't bad. But if you're driving the automatic, it's 3.9 seconds, 0 to 60. Imagine that. EPA fuel economy numbers are 19 city, 26 highway for the manual, 22 city, 29 highway for the automatic. And cargo capacity is a paltry 10.2 cubic feet. Basically, maybe a laptop and one decent piece of luggage. Really. And I got to tell you, there was a time when those numbers were turned around, where you actually got better fuel economy with the manual. But the automatics are so good anymore that they usually do much better than the best manual transmissions today. Oh, well. Tip of the hat to technology. Here's what I liked about the GR Supra. This is without a doubt an honest and very personal 2-seat performance coupe. Low, wide, and sensual. The GR Supra is smooth, solid, planted, and responsive when underway. Handling and control are effortless and driver-inspiring at speed. Exactly what you would expect in a performance coupe. I found the seating accommodations to be impressively comfortable for traveling long distances. With a head-up display and even a sport mode, and honestly, do you really need it with this car? Nah. I mean, you don't. But here's an important note that you need to pay attention, because this is one thing that's going to cost you big time, and it's about the tires. You're actually running 2 different Michelin Pilot Super Sport Z-rated tire sizes on 19-inch rims. You're running 255/35 ZR19s in the front and larger 275/35 ZR19s at the rear. Needless to say, proper tire maintenance and alignment are more necessary with this car. And no, there ain't no spare tire. And even if they wanted to offer one, there's no place to put it. There isn't. Here's what I didn't like about the GR Supra. And in fairness, before I start with this list, I have to say, this car wasn't designed for everybody. It really wasn't. Honestly, it's a niche car for a special kind of driver that appreciates performance above just about everything else. And I needed to tell you that. Having said that, the key fob offers access to the rear hatch only. The coupe body style limits the rear outward view. There are no fog lights, no tire repair kit, and a small infotainment screen. Displays, controls, and switchgear that I thought to be very basic. No heated steering wheel, no cooled seats, and a funky gasoline level indicator that initially increased my total range by 17 miles, even though I drove more than 100 miles at highway speeds. It actually told me I had more gas, even though I went 100 miles. Yeah, I'm still trying to process that. The dashboard presentation and layout, and this is not a compliment, reminds me of the subcompact and much cheaper Chevy Sonic and Chevy Spark, with a small, awkwardly shaped cargo area opening, so to get to that 10.2 cubic feet, it's a little bit of a challenge. If you have the window down at highway speed, prepare for some major wind buffeting. And not to mention the obvious, but space in this cabin is at a premium. Bottom line, as I mentioned previously, this coupe ain't for everybody. But if you enjoy the art of driving, then the Toyota GR Supra was built just for you. Bad news, though, as of March of this year, they're no longer made. Toyota said about 2 years ago they were going to discontinue in March, and they did, although I believe there's some on the ground. Base manufacturer suggested retail price for the GR Supra starts from $58,300 for the base up to $69,350 for the Mark V Final Edition. Destination charges add $1,195. If you love driving, this is your car. If you need a daily driver, I'm going to be honest, this ain't it. No, nuh-uh. It's a special, special car. A new moisture-powered battery can power wearables. This is the Tech Mobility Show.
Every great business starts with a spark, but taking it to the next level takes strategy, connections, and capital. That's where Playbook Investors Network comes in. We're your strategic partner for accelerating growth, navigating challenges, and capturing market opportunities before your competition does. Your business is more than an idea. Let's make it an impact. Playbook Investors Network. Your future starts here. Learn more at pincommunity.org.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than aonmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. aonmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
Researchers at Rice University and North Carolina State University have developed a stretchable battery that draws moisture from the air to generate electricity, eliminating the need for conventional liquid electrolytes while powering wearable and Internet of Things devices. Imagine, electricity powered by moisture. This is topic B. Where do I start? Down over the past couple of years, what you're seeing happen is what I told you was going to happen. That is, once automakers and others in the United States started scaling up and turning their attention to batteries in general, electric batteries in general, lithium-ion batteries in particular, that you were going to see a lot of advancement in types of batteries, materials used, getting away from the critical rare earth materials that typically powered EVs and even standalone battery packs. This is another case. You might remember, a few weeks back, we talked about a wearable that actually pulled drinkable water from the air. Now we're talking about a battery that pulls moisture from the air, even in low moisture situations, to generate electricity. Can you imagine 10, 15 years from now, you could literally have wearables that will sustain your life, whether to keep you cool, keep you lit, operate devices, heck, at this point, recharge your cell phone or actually integrate with some sort of communications device where a cell phone, the way we know today, will probably be an obsolete thing. We'll laugh that we actually walked around holding something like that big. Because quite possible, the outerwear that we wear in 10 to 15 years may have so much integrated into it. You're thirsty, it's got you. You need electricity to power something, it's got you. You need to make a call, it's got you. Right now, we use our phones for everything. Imagine a day where that is no longer the case, that we are literally the device. We're wearing the device. This is another brick in the wall for that. Here's another thing that's so cool about this battery. It can destroy electronics if tampered with. It will self-destruct. Those of you that are a certain age may remember Mission Impossible, may remember Get Smart back in the 60s. Where in Mission Impossible, he'd listen to the tape. If he chose the assignment, fine, and then the tape would self-destruct in 5 seconds. Well, this thing will actually self-destruct. This moisture-activated battery uses a magnesium anode, a silver chloride cathode, and a cellulose membrane infused with lithium chloride salts. The membrane absorbs moisture from the surrounding air, dissolving the salts to form an electrolyte that allows the battery to produce electrical current. That is so cool. Because the battery remains inactive inside sealed packaging, it can be stored for extended periods before use. It doesn't go dead. Researchers say the design also removes the toxic and flammable electrolytes commonly found in conventional batteries. In a word, this thing runs on salt water, if you want to get technical about it. Then again, so does your body. I mean, that's how electrical current bounces around in us and operates your heart and all that. Electrical current out of salt water. Who knew? The team demonstrated that the battery can operate in even low humidity environments, making it suitable for applications ranging from wearable health monitors and miniature robots to remote sensors. Again, the world as your oyster. It is phenomenal what they're coming up with. And here's the thing. It's not requiring any critical materials or rare earths to do it. They're using regularly attainable stuff that is readily available now, cheaply. All of the last probably year that I've talked to you about these advancements, most of these advancements are using readily available materials that are easily, readily recyclable, claimable, or otherwise produced. The day of breaking the chain with China is coming in so many different ways. And they're getting so creative. It's crazy. And since it only activates once it's exposed to ambient air, it remains inactive while within sealed packaging, giving it an extended shelf life. You could set this thing on a shelf for 10 years. And you need it? Boom, you got it, and it works. Unlike many stretchable batteries that rely on serpentine electrical connections, this new design takes inspiration from Panagons, P-A-N-G-O-L-I-N-S, big word. The battery uses overlapping scalable structures that minimize empty space created during stretching, helping maintain energy density while bending, twisting, or expanding. Our modeling revealed how bio-inspired stacking and stretchable interconnectors can redistribute deformation throughout the battery, preserving performance under bending, twisting, and stretching while minimizing the empty space that typically reduces energy density. And to prove it, researchers used the battery to power a wireless Bluetooth oximeter for up to 30 hours, demonstrating performance comparable to conventional batteries used in similar devices. This sucker is ready now. Beyond supplying power, researchers integrated a moisture-triggered kill switch designed to destroy electric devices if tampered with. The mechanism stores a dry mixture of aluminum and iodine powder inside a sealed compartment. If someone attempts to open or remove the device, the compartment is breached, allowing harvested moisture to reach the chemicals. The resulting reaction generates enough heat to engulf the device in flames and destroy its electronics. Boy, Mission Impossible and Get Smart all over again. Wow. It's a real thing, though. And they actually showed that. As proof of concept, researchers incorporated the system into a wireless gas sensor. The complete device, including its embedded electronics, were destroyed within 3 minutes of activation. They think they can roll this out now. Capable of a practical energy source capable of powering everyday Internet of Things and medical devices. They're saying that now. The level of performance of this battery technology is ready to power a whole new generation of electric devices and applications. Technology moves on, people. The battery is lightweight, biocompatible, biodegradable, and designed using non-toxic materials, making it a potential alternative to lithium-ion batteries for flexible electronics and disposable medical devices. How much more can we do with this new discovery? Talk about brave new worlds and go into the next phase? That's what I'm talking about. And I only see this speeding up and getting faster because more technology will be built based on this. Now that they got the power, they can design the systems. Once they design the systems, they can integrate them in all sorts of things. Non-toxic, biocompatible, biodegradable. You can wear it. Moisture activated, even in low moisture situations. Imagine that. It's so phenomenally cool. With all the attention the data centers are getting, some lawmakers think they should be taxed. We are the Tech Mobility Show. Tired of business advice that means quitting your job or grinding all night? I'm Ken Chester. My book, 2-Hour Entrepreneur, is different. It's not just a book. It's a step-by-step system you run in 2 hours a week. Consistency beats intensity. Get it in ebook and paperback at kennethjchester.com, Amazon, and most online bookstores. Build yours 2 hours at a time.
You've got the drive. You've got the vision. Now you need the right partner to make it happen. At Playbook Investors Network, we power ambitious leaders with the tools, insight, and investment connections to move faster, grow stronger, and lead markets. We're more than advisors. We're your co-pilots in success. Because in business, standing still is not an option. Playbook Investors Network, fueling ambition, delivering results. Visit pincommunity.org.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than aonmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. aonmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
Reading a book is easy. Doing the work is hard. I'm Ken Chester. My 2-hour entrepreneur accountability system turns my proven method into weekly do-the-work assignments that build your business 2 hours at a time. Not sure yet? Get a free chapter before you buy at free-chapter.kennethjchester.com. Read it, then decide. Your idea finally deserves a real system. A lawmaker in the U.S. House of Representatives has written a white paper calling for higher taxes on the hundreds of millions of dollars of hyperscaler AI spending. The proposal includes a repeal of existing tax benefits that apply to data centers. The white paper also proposes repealing the ability of data center investors to fully depreciate the cost of the property. It's a hot topic. What do you think? This is Topic C. Before I go any further, I'm going to let you know what I think, because I think it's important to put this in perspective. First, some numbers. This year, 2026, this year, these companies, big data, in the United States of America, is spending $660 billion. That's with a B. That is $750 billion towards getting data centers built around the country. That is a lot of money. Here's my take on this. I'm a bit of a historian, and I love context. We're in the middle, really in the middle, of a data center / AI bubble. Like every other major technology in the last 250, 300 years, from the railroads to the internet to AI now, it follows a particular pattern. And I'm here to tell you, the cracks are already showing. The Chinese have already developed models for a fraction of the money. They are not cutting edge, but they are what you call good enough. good enough for people to use, good enough for people to use cheaply, and it'll get the job done. Here's what's going to happen. In my estimation, this is my opinion. There's a lot of these data centers that are going to be obsolete 5 years minimum, 10 years max. The cities and towns that are not defending them are going to have sites, large sites of these buildings that are no longer feasible because the technology has outgrown them and actually shrunk. You don't believe me? In the 1940s, a computer filled a whole room at Iowa State. Today, there's more power on your cell phone in your hand than it was in that room, and it's way faster. The internet in the 1990s, 30 years ago, you dialed up to AOL, you dialed up to America Online, and you went and got a sandwich or a cup of coffee because it would take that long. And the only way you knew you were connected is when you heard that word, you got mail. And that could take 5-10 minutes. Today, you're mad if it's a nanosecond late. And we're downloading all these ginormous files. This is going for the same thing. The cities and towns are right to ask hard questions. Because why should the taxpayer carry on? Why should the taxpayer bear the burden? Because every city and town, it is typical for economic development to chase new business. That's what they do. But these folks are spending the money anyway. All you're doing is competing against another state. Neither one of y'all are going to win because even the one that wins ends up giving away the store. And by the time they get to the point where they should be paying taxes or that time, that ramp up time is over, this is going to be obsolete. And those buildings are going to be a problem and maybe an eyesore. And particularly in smaller towns that have already suffered because the water, these need pure water and a lot of electric power to run. So why should the taxpayers, why should the ratepayers have to carry the burden? If you're coming into a small community, if you've got a co-op, electric co-op, they've got to make some decisions about where that money's coming from to do the capital expenditures to support that data center. Number one. Number two, same thing with your local water utility. Same thing with public works, your city, sewerage, and all of that. And here's the thing. You're not adding hundreds of people to the payroll. Those data centers are highly automated. You're lucky if you increase, 10, 15, 20 folk? Maybe. And what's the chances of them living? And I'm talking about once it's built. Now, the building's going to be great because they need all kinds of people, and they don't have enough people to build all this stuff. So that boomlet's going to be wonderful. But what happens on the other side of the boomlet when it gets built? How many people do you think are going to be employed there? And what kind of deal did your city and town give them to come? They didn't need it if they're spending this kind of money. This is the purpose of the white paper. They're saying, you know what? Data centers drain limited local resources. Houses go unbuilt as data center developers scoop up land near major markets. Redevelopment and new manufacturing projects stall as data centers monopolize investment dollars and the time of skilled labor. We talked about the problem with the necessary of skilled labor, predominantly electricians of all people and construction workers. There ain't enough to go around. So imagine if you've got other projects in your town being stalled because everybody is going to work at the data center. That's a problem. Data centers are rapidly popping up in already water-stressed regions that will struggle with the new demand and disrupting local communities with persistent noise pollution. The scream of all those generators and all those cooling fans. Rural communities fear that productive agricultural land will be rezoned to make way for data centers, altering their character and economies. That's happening in Iowa right now. Those conversations are being had in real time right now. While all this, while the data centers consume huge amounts of power and raise energy prices for families, farms, and small businesses throughout the country. Because, again, to go back to the example of that co-op, utilities are a capital-intensive business. Your local utility earmarks so much money for capital improvements, capital expenditures, and if they're fortunate, improvements in the grid. They're not sitting around waiting for this stuff, But now they've got a data center which takes all their projections, all how they were planning to raise the money to cover this, all this, and turns it on its head. Now what? How much power are they going to need? Where are we going to get it from? Do we have to build or buy power from somewhere else? Do we have to build a new plant? Do we have to buy power from another utility at a higher rate? Do we have to build transmission facilities to bring that power in? Somebody's got to pay for that. Guess what, ratepayer? That be you. That be you. Because there's capital to get it there, and then there's the cost of actually, getting charged for it. It's the capital expenditure we're talking about. They're talking about a couple of different types of taxes to make sure they're paying their fair share to support the infrastructure that they're going to overload. And honestly, the upper Midwest has seen this before. We've seen this play out before. Meat packers, manufacturers, same story, same issue. Only this time, I can see the other side. And there is another side. And it ain't pretty. So somebody needs to ask hard questions. When you've got that much money chasing something, somebody needs to ask the obvious question. Because that's a lot of money. $660 billion, $750 billion this year. It's not sustainable, people. They can't keep spending money like that.
This is the Tech Mobility Podcast.
Reading a book is easy. Doing the work is hard. I'm Ken Chester. My 2-hour entrepreneur accountability system turns my proven method into weekly do-the-work assignments that build your business 2 hours at a time. Not sure yet? Get a free chapter before you buy at free-chapter.kennethjchester.com. Read it, then decide. Your idea finally deserves a real system.
In business, opportunity doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Playbook Investors Network, we connect visionary entrepreneurs with the strategies, resources, and capital they need to win. Whether you're launching, scaling, or reimagining your business, our network turns ambition into measurable success. Your vision deserves more than a plan. It deserves a playbook that works. Playbook Investors Network, where bold ideas meet bold results. Visit pincommunity.org today.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than aonmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. aonmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
Got a business idea stuck in your head? I'm Ken Chester, and my new book, 2-Hour Entrepreneur, isn't just a book. It's a complete system, a proven step-by-step method to build a real business in only 2 focused hours a week. No hustle, no burnout, just steady progress. Find it in ebook and paperback at kennethjchester.com, Amazon, and most online stores.